Hi, I'm Tisha Finn, and this is the research proposal presentation for Jake Enlow, myself, Riley Horn, and Haley Sims. This research proposal suggests an explanatory approach in order to collect data to see if COVID-19 had any effect on social media usage and/or social media addiction among the students at the Coastal College of Georgia. We will be presenting a background of the study, a literature review, research design and methods, methodology, preliminary suppositions and implications, conclusions, and an appendix. I will now hand it over to my classmate to continue the presentation. Thank you.
The phenomenon of social media addiction has gained significant attention, particularly in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, which began in 2019. The pandemic's stay-at-home orders have been positively correlated with increased social media addiction, contributing to negative health effects such as insomnia and heightened levels of stress and anxiety among both students and teachers. The loss of in-person social interactions has been associated with a decline in psychological well-being and social skills, alongside increased feelings of depression and loneliness. A survey conducted by Paula Odrezola Gonzalez in the Department of Psychology at the University of Valladolid, Spain, revealed that over half of the respondents experienced moderate to severe impacts from the pandemic, with a significant portion presenting moderate to severe scores of anxiety, depression, and stress. Impact on vulnerable populations was another category of the effects of COVID-19. The study by Paula also highlighted that individuals with pre-existing mental health conditions were at higher risk of social media addiction. This research displays the importance of understanding the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on
Research design and methods. Our study focuses on looking at the effects that COVID 19 has had on social media usage and addiction at the College of Coastal Georgia. Scope of the study. We hope that by conducting our survey using methods similar to those described above, we can collect more significant data about those affected by the pandemic. Relevance of the study. Gathering more information about how social media affects students, their mental health, and their social lives is important to the overall understanding of the effects of the COVID 19 pandemic on college students. Methods. We plan to use both a quantitative and qualitative method in order to see the impact that COVID 19 has had on social media usage and addiction among students at the College of Coastal Georgia. Methodology. For our qualitative methods, our survey will include questions that use qualitative data to review the effects of COVID 19 and how it has influenced social media use for each individual within our study. Then, for our quantitative methods, this portion of our study, we will use questions that also show that COVID 19 has influence on students and their social media use throughout the pandemic. Preliminary suppositions and implications. We hypothesize that there is an increase in social media usage and addiction among the students at the College of Coastal Georgia due to COVID 19. We also hypothesize that the time of isolation caused feelings of loneliness and therefore increased the need for connection through social media. Implications. For this study, the findings could have significant influence on understanding the impact that COVID 19 had on society and social behaviors. Future research and directions. Moving forward with this study, future studies should evaluate trends over longer periods of time in order to review pandemic-induced changes. Other studies would help to provide valuable insight in order to help individuals cope with periods of stress and times of uncertainty. Overall impact. Understanding the impact that COVID 19 has had on social media usage is helpful because it addresses social media addiction and the negative consequences of it. This study also helps us to further understand the relationship between technology, society, and one's well-being.
In conclusion, our study takes a look into the impacts of COVID-19 on social media usage and addiction among students at the College of Coastal Georgia. By using quantitative surveys and qualitative interviews, we are able to gain insight into the evolving changes after the pandemic.
For our research proposal, we decided to do interview questions along with surveys. And before our interview and survey questions begin, we'll ask our participants for their consent to use the information we receive for our research. At any given time, they're allowed to leave if desired. In our interview questions, we'll be asking about social media before, during, and after COVID-19. This will allow us to evaluate each answer based on which time frame it occurred. The answers we receive based on these questions will determine how COVID-19 affected social media usage and or addiction. To the right are a few examples of our interview questions from our research proposal. For our research proposal, we decided our survey questions will be based on post COVID-19, and the participants will answer honestly using a scale of strongly agree, strongly disagree, and disagree. These options give us a range to use to determine how strongly they have been affected by COVID-19. To the right are a few examples of our survey questions, and depending on how the participants answer, this will determine our answer for the research proposal question. Our survey questions will be based on post COVID-19, and the participants will answer